Dan grew up with a need for speed.
My dad used to race. We never saw him race as a kid, but we would go to the races as a family.
But his father never imagined his son would be driving something like this. There is a twist, as this is therapy of sorts for Dan. He explains as we hit the track for the heart of his story in this American Drive. Men and women, boys and girls gather at a family-owned track in Cordova, Illinois. People from all across the country come here to test themselves and whatever they may be driving. Dan Lussard, like many racing, it's in his blood, in his family's blood.
My dad used to race. We never saw him race as a kid, but we would go to the races as a family, the stock car races, and we grew up on a farm, and I just enjoyed operating equipment. We always had a mini bike or a go-kart or something, and we never had two of them at a time because they didn't want us racing, but we would set up little tracks, and my brothers and I would keep track of who had the fastest laps, and it was just something that we enjoyed doing.
So it may not come as a surprise that he ended up racing more against time than alongside a crowd of other cars.
Yeah, essentially drag racing, you're racing against your own time, and the car next to you is racing against you, and they may be racing a different time, and you have the best reaction time, and who's the most consistent, and who gets to the finish line first, and that's how you win.
Lost a lot at first, but learned a lot too.
What's going through your mind when the light goes and you go?
Mostly it's just about the focusing and doing the fundamentals correct. And if you can do everything the same and you get a good reaction time off the start and the car is hooked up and going down the track fine, and then you're looking over at the other car, seeing if you're going to get to the finish line first, and if so, by how much, and if not, when to let out and let them take the finish line. Because if they do go faster than their dial-in or their guess, and you don't go quicker than your dial-in, then you win. So it's not always who gets there the quickest in bracket racing.
Kind of like a handicap in golf or something?
Exactly, yep.
Yeah. Tell me how this car operates, what kind of power it has, and how it actually operates.
It has a 2-speed power glide. It's a 598 cubic inch alcohol carbureted car based off of a big block Chevy design. And it'll run high 7 seconds at 170 mile an hour and change in the quarter mile. Then in the 1/8 mile it runs about 140 and high 4 seconds.
So do you shift? Is there a shifter?
It does shift, but you set it up to shift at whatever RPM. It's an automatic shifted machine. You can shift it manually, but to be consistent, one less human error that you have to take out of it, the more consistent the car is. So 99% of the cars in my class are automatics, and they're automatically shifted.
Because you don't want to miss a gear when you're going 100.
Correct.
Dan got my attention when I was shooting stories out at the track, and I heard a familiar name come over the loudspeaker.
Beat the heat police cars. He's out racing today with a dragster. Good to see Dan out here running.
911, what's your emergency?
Double breakout win for Trooper Dan.
Yeah, that's because this man with a need for speed is a retired state trooper who spent his career chasing people down.
You used to pull over people for speeding, among other things.
Right.
And now you're the one speeding.
I'm part of a member of the Beat the Heat, and that's one thing that we promote. And when I went and guest spoke at driver's ed classes, it's not the speed that gets you, it's your surroundings. And it's a controlled environment at the racetrack, and it's so much safer, and you don't get in trouble. And so we would promote, if you have the need for speed like I do, that's fine, that's great. Just bring what you brung, and you can race anything at the racetrack. They have street classes where you can race mom's minivan and come over and still be competitive and in a safe environment.
So you just happen to be a state trooper driving around a souped-up car on the highways, promoting good and safety.
That's what I tried to do. I used to joke that if the state patrol had faster patrol cars, I wouldn't have to have a drag car, but not really. There's a lot of competition and meet a lot of good people and a lot of friends, and a great hobby to have.
How do you equate the skills that you learned on the force with what you do now as a hobby?
So I was a Top Gun in our academy, and I was a firearms instructor. And Robert Height, who used to run for John Force Racing, he was a competitive shooter, and he said shooting and drag racing have a lot in common. It's a lot about fundamentals and getting the correct fundamentals down and focusing, and it's very true. Racing is a lot like competitive shooting.
Over the years, he has found a way to fuel his family, some driving, some watching, some enjoying the experience.
So this has become a family thing, right? I see the pictures of your kids getting sort of involved in this too.
Yeah. My son raced junior dragsters, and he also races my cars a few times a year. And then 2 of the 3 daughters tried it, and they'd enjoyed it, but it wasn't their thing. And primarily my girls, my wife worked weekends, and she was a nurse, so it was one or the other of us. And when it was me and they were younger, we would go racing a lot, and either I was racing or Nathan, our son, was racing. And the girls used to complain once in a while, but then you get them over to the racetrack and they're goofing around with their friends and having a ball. And
yeah, it's outdoors. You got a sense of family with other people you meet,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
You're away from the TV. You're in this different world.
Yeah,
because it is its own unique world.
Oh, absolutely.
A world that started with him and his brother building their own cars to race, testing to see how far and how fast they could go, and using the time of the track to put his stress of his job in neutral.
Oh, wow, you put this together and you're able to maintain it, and you can go out and be competitive and win races.
Did it also, was a therapy at all for you? Did it help you forget all the bad things you might have seen at work that day?
Oh, sure. It just takes your mind off of whatever happened earlier that day, good or bad. And unfortunately, a lot of bad things, a lot of good things too, but the bad things kind of stick with you a little bit more. And this is a great stress reliever.
Saving that for the hardtop at a family-run speedway in Cordova, Illinois. Hey, thanks to our sponsors, Peterson Plumbing and Heating, QCA Pools and Spas, and Morrison Community Hospital. And if you like stories like this, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out more of the Heart of the Story and our American Drive series now.